Hello and welcome back to Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Still on trial 1. We have just entered the recess where we are going to wait for Giselle Brett, or whatever her name is, to show up and reveal herself as a murderer.
Yeah, this is not one of those trials where you're like really trying to figure out who it is. I mean, like, I guess you are for the first half, and then you see her and you're like, got him.
22nd November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendant Antechamber 5.
Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb.
My heart was in my mouth the entire time, and that's not what I wanted in my mouth.
1 minute. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth.
Damn, okay.
You were really paying attention, weren't you, Kazuma?
Hmm.
It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimony.
I was still sweating though.
It was hot as hell.
Yeah, I think they have the heat on in that courtroom.
I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer.
Forget it. It's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again.
Bad news, baby boy.
Boy, oh boy, do I have bad news for you.
Ha ha ha. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last.
Whoa. She's not a phantom.
Miss Stacy Fake Name, a student from Great Britain, is she?
That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along.
Yes, you have, haven't you?
Duh. I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Powers of description, on the other hand.
Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, so it seems. Did you see what happened with that?
No, I didn't see any of it. I was locked in a closet. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the ground. And just after I bent over and picked it up, bang! I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet. And he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen.
Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay.
Yeah, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area.
Oh, there you are. Well done, both of you.
Wife!
I know, she like shows up on screen for a second, they're like, goodbye! You don't get your wife.
They're like, you only get a taste of wife.
I know. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. He's so cute. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy, our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that would have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway.
After you fucking went through all this? What are you even on about, Kazuma?
So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way.
Kazuma!
Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man.
Me?
Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case.
Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind my asking, Professor, did you know the victim?
Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. And it was I who invited him.
Oh. Fuck.
I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case.
Yeah, I'm not confident that Ouchie is going to be doing much of fucking anything.
He's not the one you gotta worry about.
It's me!
But I have no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight right up to the last. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Now then. Susanna!
Wife.
I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need.
Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama.
Defendant Naruhodo!
Which?
Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside to the courtroom at once. I love just making the bailiffs rude.
They are.
It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before these old fossils know what's hit them.
Damn, okay, Kazuma. Kazuma woke up this morning and said, I'm rude.
He's choosing violence.
Uh-huh. Kazuma?
What?
Thank you. Really.
What for? Why are you apologizing? Why are you apologizing?
I'm thanking you instead of apologizing.
That's fair.
Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. I love you so much, Kazuma.
Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. As a boyfriend, perhaps.
Haha! Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of loyal boyfriend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial.
You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from the Yume cafeteria on University Street.
Is that a euphemism?
No, we're gonna have food and then fuck. Don't you know? With an extra large portion after the meal, of course. The extra large portion is your dick in me.
I was like, oh no, the extra large portion is there, so that you have energy for the fucking 22nd November, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. Happy belated birthday, Samatoki.
The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruto. Prosecutor Ouchie, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes,
They really subpoenaed her fucking fast.
I mean, I think this one's a little bit more excusable than when they do the same thing in England, because I'm pretty sure the courthouse is supposed to be like right next to the university, but I might be wrong.
Well, I mean, also this is like their fucking like secret military trial or whatever,
Yeah.
whereas like in England it's just like anybody could be there. Anybody is there.
Yeah.
They pick the fucking jury off the street.
They're like, do you know anything about the case? And they're like, yes. And they're like, cool, you're on the jury.
Yes, cool, you're on the jury. It really is like that sometimes when you're doing some of these trials in England. You're just sitting there and you're like, who, what?
No, see,
That guy was just walking down the street, you idiot.
no, because it's both. You should be recused because you know something, and also, do you speak English?
Do you even speak English?
That's only one of them, but still,
Yeah.
it's egregious.
It's not just egregious. It's like freaking like he's sitting there like a tourist, being like, "Hello, I am visiting," and it's like you should not even be here. You're not even a citizen. The fuck?
You're literally claiming to be a tourist right now. Like, don't pretend.
Don't pretend at me, sir.
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
That's their job.
He really said if you're doing nothing wrong, you have nothing to fear, but he's right this time. It's highly unlikely that the good relationships we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed.
That's not our fault.
Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Which we did look up last time we played this. It is a real word. That's the correct word to be using there.
Yeah, it is. We had a moment where like, do they mean flounders? And no, they do not.
It means like to sink.
Yeah. Again, terribly sorry. But also, this isn't our fault.
If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on.
Kazuma is right.
You really have nothing to worry about it. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma, on the other hand.
What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses? Is this what our
What, Nut James?
Let's take that one again from the top. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up! Oh my god! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in.
I don't think I want to know.
By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. Ouchie is making like a fraction of a point, but he's such a goddamn worm.
He's such a fucking bootlicker that like it doesn't matter what point he's making. All right, Kazuma's right. If It really is like so fragile that like is the way this trial ends up is gonna freaking break the treaty. He's right. It's not worth the fucking paper it's written on.
Yeah. Well, no, 'cause that's the thing is like I do like that they give Ouchie like a perspective that is realistic for someone to have.
Yeah.
But he's just like so extreme on it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, because that's the thing is that like I think it is supposed to be that like it's not terrible to be like concerned about these things, but just don't be a fucking bootlicker about it.
And like if Ouchie does legitimately believe Ryunosuke is guilty, like it is kind of like are we really gonna pick a fight with Britain just because this student doesn't want to go to jail?
Yeah.
Whereas obviously Ryunosuke didn't do it, so
yeah,
it's a bullshit excuse.
Oh yeah. But and honestly, Japan, just like Britain, is an island nation. Honestly, I'd pick more of a fight. All right, let's see whose boats are better.
What are you gonna do? Come all the way over here and fight us? But also don't tempt the British, they might.
I will tempt the British. If they want to come over here and fucking fight me, they better. Well, okay, I guess not in like real life, but
yeah.
If I were Japan.
It's also your line.
Oh, right. I'm dumb, don't worry about it. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student. And one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice in its justice system is a country with no future at all.
Well, doing great. We're taking down the justice system together. One fucked up sentence at a time. You and me, Cosmo. One poorly delivered line at a time. Well said, Ryunosuke.
Well said, Ryunosuke. Cosmo, you don't have to patronize me.
Despite the wide-eyed look of terror and all the mistakes, it was golden. You little brats! Thank you, Council. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand.
Not to be, like, baiting the writing in the official fucking game, but wouldn't the pursuit of truth be a better way to say
it? I mean, it's probably... I mean, it is hard, because, like, the localizer is doing, like, a really fantastic job already. Yeah. And it is hard to, like... Especially with, like, the old-timiness of the speech. I mean, it's gotta be, like, extra hard.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. That's what a lot of the weird words are. It's definitely not, like, a translation issue. It's, like...
It's old-timey.
Tiny. They used to talk like that. They used to make up words in England all the time. They still do, but now they're different words.
They still do, but... They had to make up more back then because there was less.
Actually, should we commit... Okay, do you want to just have, like, Ryunosuke be, like, Stacy fake name, or should we just commit to everyone calling her Stacy fake name?
I think having Ryunosuke and Kazuma call her Stacy fake name is funny, because, like, Kazuma is doing it, like, in solidarity with Ryunosuke, but everyone else should probably call her by her name.
Yeah, that's fair. Just means I have to pronounce it more. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Jazile Brett. Yes. Your Excellency!
The fucking thud that man makes against that tabletop. Holy shit. No, okay. I would like everyone who is watching this to take a moment and look at this woman and be like, Ryunosuke described this woman as just a woman. He described literally nothing else about her.
Well, and they're about to call that out directly, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is so goddamn stupid.
Oh, yeah.
No, because that's like I don't even like necessarily think like Ryunosuke is explicitly gay, but that is a gay man move. To be like, I am not even processing that woman. I am looking directly at this boring professor man.
I'm looking directly at this boring professor man. Just because that's your taste in men doesn't mean...
Excuse you, that's not my only type.
I know.
And you're throwing some real rocks in a glass house right now.
Hold on, what do you mean?
You, the most boring man on the planet, will walk on screen in some TV show and you're like, that's my favorite.
Fair. There is just something about a mediocre default white man that, I don't know, ruins my life.
It's like, I honestly get the worm thing more. It's when it's like just someone who looks boring that I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
It's just that, like, worms tend to have a similar aesthetic, which is the most boring dude you've ever seen.
That's fair. I'm still gonna make fun of you. Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan from such a distant land.
Yeah, considering it takes 2 fucking months to get there.
Tea? Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea!
I love that the judge is the one saying stuff like this.
I'm like, he just wants tea. He's like, I know what bullshit I'm about to encounter.
Is that true?
No idea.
That is the funniest interaction. The judge is like, nobody in England talks about anything without tea. And Ryunosuke is like, I don't know enough about England to know if that's wrong or not. And Kazuma's just like, me neither.
I was supposed because Ryunosuke is like, oh my god, am I stupid? And for once, Kazuma is like, don't know, don't care. So, yes. Could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course.
He is so funny.
He really is. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as a head waiter at La Carnival, but my true... Yes, we all know about you already. Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. I hate it here.
Is that true?
No idea. I'm studying British law, not British people. Fuck off.
British people.
More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of.
Kazuma's so funny for this. Oh, yeah. Did I say that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. He's having a real gay moment right now.
Guilty as charged.
Kazuma is out here being the type of gay that notices all the women's fashion choices. Ryunosuke is the type of gay who notices 0 of them.
I think the problem is that they're both bisexual.
Well, yeah.
But, I think Ryunosuke's problem was that he's just stupid.
Yeah. Well, okay, I will say it also makes like a little bit of sense considering like that he did go up to the table specifically to talk to the professor, and he is just zoning that woman out. Like he is processing that.
How could you, my love? Though?
I don't know.
Like,
I can't actually explain it, but like,
different plane of existence do you have to be on in order to see that fucking woman with she's got a goddamn bird on her head. Her ass is looking like Kim Kardashian with the fucking champagne and the glass. All right. And she's dressed in bright fucking blue. And you want to tell me like that's just a woman? All right, you would have to not see her.
Your Honor, my client pleads silly and dumb as hell.
Your Honor, I plead dumb as hell.
No, I mean, 'cause, like, obviously I would notice that shit. Like, I'm not that oblivious, but, like...
Well, exactly. I feel like, and you're not gonna lie, sometimes can be pretty oblivious. But, like, even me, who, like, can't even notice when people are looking at me on the street, alright, or notice when people directly compliment me as they're passing by, alright, would notice a bitch like that. Alright, I'd spot her from freaking 4 blocks away. I'd be like, who the hell is that?
Ryunosuke's out here like, I thought that she was just like a mannequin to show off the latest English fashion, and then she moved, and I was like, ah!
And then she moved, and I was like, ah!
And the gun went off, I don't know.
I thought Dr. Wilson was having lunch with a mannequin.
And I just didn't question it, that's not my business.
What am I gonna do? Bother a man for wanting to look like he has company for a meal? Nah. This is Utsu, and I'd like to say thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And feel free to share our videos. Whether you have a few followers or a few thousand followers, every share is appreciated by us and by the algorithm. We hope you enjoy our new featured art done by myself. If you are a fan artist and would like to get your art featured at the end of our videos, please see our description for an email and Tumblr blog where you can contact us. Thanks again, and we hope to see you next time. Bye!